stream together. So my apologies being on YouTube and even just seeing all this crazy stuff, crazy things. Um, this is sick. Yeah, I got a doggy all over me. Alright, starting off the day.
We'll do one
It's
exercise
gonna be great.
practice touch.
Oi.
Place your hands in front of your side.
Hi Maria. What's going on?
Remember,
Grand Risings, Grand Risings.
in front of your side.
Yo, you gonna be at Possum later?
As you circle,
I gotta go to town, gotta get dog food,
circle
so
one direction, then the other direction.
I need to skateboard. I need to just
Do based on how you
move.
If you feel good, you can do more. Second exercise, cross your fingers and rotate.
Get the body ready first, you know? You feel me? You feel me?
Loosen
Grand Risings on YouTube. We're going to be reading the first chapter of the Tablet of the Light. We read it last night, but guess what? It slapped so hard, we're gonna run it back to our book. So
we're gonna loosen up our
first, you gotta get the body ready.
Circle the hands back and forward. When we pull back, palms facing up. When we circle hands forward, palms facing down. So now it's hands down, palms up, pull elbows back. Move as gently as you can. What we do to warm up is a natural flow. Nothing is forced. Number 4 exercise. You're going to place your hands in front of your chest.
Gotta get the elbows going. What's up, guys? What is up? What is up?
Hold the elbows ends in front of you as close as possible. Channel what you can do it. Number 5. We are going to circle our right arm backward. Circle the shoulders.
What the hell is this? This is, you know, body warm up before we sit in a chair. You gotta stretch your body out.
Now we circle
This is how you prevent injury.
shoulders and neck are one of the most important muscles.
Especially your wrists. You don't want to get carpal tunnel. You don't want lower back problems.
Most of it is tied to their neck or their shoulder.
Things of that nature.
It's the way we sit, the way we use.
I thought this was a loop.
computer.
I know, right? Is that because I got good form?
Those parts of
We got good form over
Next,
here.
circle one hand forward.
So now this one, this is where it gets interesting, guys. You
This
ready?
might be a little bit challenging
Wow.
for the beginner.
Now,
Keep it clear minds and do it slowly. You will figure this out. Make sure the shoulders are loose, not tight. If you're tight, you cannot rotate one forward and back at the same time.
one forward,
Now
one
we
back.
switched
Then you switch.
to the opposite direction. Gentle and smooth, not forced. Next, we're going to learn to expand our chest. Cross the hands, turn palms up, open both hands to the side to feel the chest muscles stretched.
Just like this. Open the chest.
Bend elbow, cross, palms up, stretch the chest. Palms down, elbows bend, palms up, open chest. Move in a very smooth motions. Every time when you open your chest, feel your chest muscles are stretched outward. This exercise is very good to improve your lung capacity, helps you to breathe. Yes, cross and open, cross and open.
Hey, I appreciate the sub.
The next exercise, hold open fist, elbow bend, shoulder level high, and twist your elbow into almost a 90-degree from your foot position.
Just like this.
When we do this exercise,
Hey, yeah.
remember not
Really appreciate you guys. Sub. We're getting, you
this
know,
exercise is to
just getting out there. New to the YouTube live. This.
Sometimes when you work really hard, or sitting
Yeah, the
for a long
doggies.
time, you may just select this exercise to loosen up your back muscles.
Some other subs you guys like to enjoy.
Do it gently.
I like a meatball sub. No, I'm kidding. I'm an Italian beef guy. Ha ha ha.
And now, the next exercise is called tapping. You turn your waist and you circle your arms. The front hand tap gently on your ribs tappings produce the vibrations. This exercise vibrates all the internal organs, so the internal organs get a chance to move around. If we does not have proper exercise for the internal organs, and one who only has good muscle, beautiful body, but the body still not well.
Hey, this is good. Wake our organs up, you know.
Very important. We use
This
this
is
exercise
a
to make our internal organs strong. This is the same. Now the top hand circle tap down from the base of your neck, and the back hand still on the kidney. Neck is full of nerves, and this stimulates the nerve to make them more sharper, sort of like waking them up. Remember, tap gently.
thank you.
The next
He's half German Shepherd, half Husky.
Circle.
This one, these two just had babies. They had 10 puppies.
Put the key.
We just uploaded that video to our shorts. So, thanks for the sub. We've been putting out short content, live content. I gotta understand the post a little bit more, because she just posts whatever.
Circle gently in one direction.
It goes outside. We're 4 acres of land. And you know where they want to have WrestleMania? The Royal Rumble? Right here by my knees. Move!
Let me circle the other direction. As we make the circle, you can feel your back muscles, your hip muscles, your leg muscles as a little stretched and loosen up at the same time. All those exercises, it's very good. You do not have to do it just before you practice Tai Chi. And now we are going to circle our knee. Knee is one of the most important joints in our body. We need to take care of it. When we circle the knee, make sure you do not circle too big. And make sure your both feet are flat on the ground. Circle gently. Taking care of the knee will take care of how you walk.
You gotta get your knees good.
Sore
Ability, you know, with the
the
achy,
way you want it.
cranky
You will have a
knees,
problem
you know.
in your walking. And walking is the most basic and most fundamental for our independence. So taking care of your knee, I circle the knees. Circle in and circle out. Two different.
Now we circle out.
And finally, place your hands on your hip and circle your ankle. Make sure your head, body is naturally lined up upright. Don't move your head or your body, and just circle your ankle. And circle the other direction. Always do your warm-up exercise before any other sports. And Tai Chi is the same. And now we're going to begin Tai Chi. Open your feet to stand naturally. Circle your hands, palm face each other. Left hand on positions. Lift your left hand up and rotate as palms up. Rotate your right hand facing down. Eyes look towards your cup hand.
Alright, let's get to reading. We have to stretch the body. Just warm it up, not really stretching too much, just warming things up. Let's see what this does. Retouch on. Oh, we can green screen. That's cool. I don't think we need the green screen though. I think. Put that on later. Alright, so. Freaking live show crashed here. Sorry. Part 1. Oracular vision. So let's see if we can get Instagram back up and going before we read it again. see if this is. I forgot how actually using these for the audio. Alright.
Mm, I think the iPad. All right. I was saying the iPad. Um, Okay, I don't know. The iPad or the AirPods are connected to something. Okay, that's too much. When you got two of them, and that's like fucking EMF, whatever it is, up wazoo. Um, so let's just get into the chapter. Hopefully, we don't lag out or anything of that nature. So, let's see how it goes. Recognition of the signature energy of Thoth. This is Thoth that is moving more to the forefront of this now moment to continue our conversation of the tablets of light. Infinite knowledge, scribing, astronomy, architecture, Akashic records, energy reading, conscious evolution, counsel, healing, art, writing, communication, magic. Pattern recognition, soul themes, energy movement, divine embodiment, hieroglyphic speaking, palm reading, tarot, the emerald tablets, Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, Milky Way, Kiza Enoch, Mercury, Hermes, Mercury the planet, Blue Heron, Ibis, Ygritte, Ascendant Mastery, Enlivener of Dormant Consciousness, Unlocker of Hidden Treasures, Divine Developer, Maze Pathfinder, Teachers Teachers, Healers Healer, Aligners Aligner, all energies, frequencies, and vibrations associated with me, Toph. They have been listed in this format to spark recognition within your system of our connection. This connection is one that's recognized within your connection to yourself. As you go within and tap into your inner awareness, your inner ibis, your inner sacred text, you recognize me, my signature energy. You recognize lifetimes that we have spent together. You have recognized codes of energy that are vibrating within you. Recognition is recognition in fluid form. This recognition stream of consciousness has been activated. It will be your guiding light through the tablets of light. This guiding light is such that are eliminating inner awareness within your own divine origin. The key of recognition, the keys of remembering, of oracular visioning are within your cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex is within your divine awareness. These opening words have been heavily encoded on multidimensional levels, in as they have been heavily encoded on multidimensional levels, their purpose has been to create an energy vortex for this conversation to occur within. In a sense, we have been painting through the words the settings for this conversation to take place, the energy location for this conversation to take place. For it is a vibrational conversation, and as such, there are times when it is necessary for your vibration to be guided into a spectrum of consciousness in which you can tap into the true meaning underneath, around, and within the words. Then we can converse in a way that becomes fluid, self evident, and with an awareness that it is the conversation that you have been waiting to have for eons. We are saying conversation because conversation is what this is. It is an interplay, it is a dialogue, it is a back and forth. A conversation also is an oracular experience. This conversation, through the words, the oral tradition, activates the oracular wisdom consciousness, the laser frequencies of truth, and catalyzes the active remembering of you as a vision holder. The vision that you carry. Let me know if I'm lagging. I guess we got a lot of internet going through. As we have now moved into vibrational proximity with one another through these opening words, it is time for you to connect to your true vision for this infinite experience of evolution as a light being. What vision are you holding? What vision are you holding? What vision are you holding as a being of light incarnate? But wisdom in this expanded sense is a way in which you are seeing the world through the lens of infinite possibilities. As we bring in the invitation to uncover what vision you are holding within the energy location that we are having this conversation, and you are able to drop the lens of that which may be finite view that you have taken on, or how you see the world, and instead to really be the vision that you've been carrying since the inception of the molecules of this incarnation and beyond. You have been carrying a vision, carrying a perspective, carrying a way of seeing, a holding of a dream, of a life, of a civilization that actually is inside of your experience in your earth walk. This is where it gets fun. This is where you realize that you have left the tablets of light for yourself to find, to revitalize and to breathe life into the vision you hold. Up until this point, you haven't even known it is the vision that you hold. As such, it is a time of deep remembering. It is a time of moving out of your ordinary way of being into your extraordinary way of being. It is the evolution of that which has always been there, streamed in your awake and aware consciousness. As a point of light, as a star seed on the earth plane, you have this vision that we have been speaking of that is in some ways the mission of this developmental stage of your time on earth and of the larger evolution of the consciousness on the earth plane. This vision in your developmental stage, in your evolution of consciousness, calls you forth to step into the unknown, to step beyond the borders of what you think you are, of what you have experienced, of what you have cataloged as reality. Your vision cannot be experienced from anywhere but the rainbow rose golden glasses of high perspective, of infinite knowledge, of heart wisdom, vibrational consciousness, such as your vision must be spiraled in truth. It must be delicately approached. It must be loved into being as it is spiraled and approached delicately and loved into being. It is an artistry of oracular weaving and threads of awareness that are unique to you as a point of light. There has been much awareness about an incarnation being an experience in which you travel through streams of energy, and that these streams of energy can have the impetus of remembering who it is that you are. Impetus, impetus. Hi, how's it going? Um, Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Impetus, impetus, impetus. All right. See, there you go. You gotta look things up sometimes. It's no shame in looking things up, you know, making sure you got things right. Like, all right. Let's start from the top. Streams of energy. There has been much awareness about incarnation being an experience in which you travel through the streams of energy, and that these streams of energy can have the impetus of remembering who it is that you are. They can also have the impetus of forgetting who it is that you are. It is truly optional which road you journey on in your incarnation. They are equal, it is a choice. That you are within the temple of the tablet of light, and having this conversation strikes the match that ignites the light of your choosing to have these streams of experiences of remembering. This is igniting your memory of who it is that you truly are. You are a vision holder. You are a being of light that has within you a hidden treasure. The way that is hidden treasure is found is by you recognizing you recognizing you. The ways you recognize you are beyond just the color of your hair or the sound of your voice and the activities that you do. It is the recognition of you as wholeness of all that there is, of the divinity of you, of the infinite nature of you. We have chosen this term, a hidden treasure, on purpose because it is a hunt that you are on. It is a stalking down, a tracking, a pattern recognition of molecules of consciousness, of drops of awareness, which resurrect the vision that you hold, the vision that you hold, the vision that you hold. Now that we have transmitted more increments of consciousness, ask as if it's your choice the vision that you hold be remembered, be revealed to you, to be re-accessed. This reconnection, this recognition of your awareness of the vision that you hold can happen in an instant, can happen overnight, can happen over the span of a century. It can happen at a sacred site. It can happen within the pages of this text. It can happen anywhere and within any now moment contained within the multidimensional strings of now moments of time. Boom. Um, we got a little conscious choice exercise coming up. Um, Pretty much what it's saying is like you can choose to be in the frequencies or you can choose to be outside the frequency. And both choices are valid and it's not going to necessarily stop you, 100%. Maybe it might discourage you. But it's do I need to scoot over here more? There you go. Sounds like the guy to tap into unlock potential. So this is the exact guy that helped me tap into my potential many moons ago when I was hitchhiking and just doing all the crazy, crazy fun stuff. Um, and that's why I'm rereading the book. And as I read it, it's like boom. It puts me there all over again, and it's like it says it's been here for you to find it. It's been here for you to find it, right? It's also been here for you to make the decision and then choose something else, and then it's still here for you to find it. And that's something that, like, I read it last night, and then even rereading it again this morning, it slaps again because we tend to believe that conditioning just happens overnight, and it doesn't. Conditioning is your repetition, repetition. So if, like I was saying before, like when you're following your dreams, it's like it's hard to stop because you know what's out there, you know what you can accomplish, you know how it feels and meeting people and perform whatever it is. You can be skateboarding, you can be traveling, you can be reading a book in the fucking field somewhere or hiking, seeing a fucking solar eclipse, that was a cool moment. Um, wow, yeah, whew, I remember that. Um, And interesting enough, like that solar eclipse in my head, still cool. This book, or not even this book, but just this describe this. transcript, this energy in here contained, it doesn't expire. And that's something I'm realizing now is that there's this pressure on myself to get like all the videos out because you do the videos for the YouTube and the Twitch, and you're trying to keep up with all the media of today and the music of today. You have to keep up um, with, and you don't have to keep up with this, right? It just is here. I got this book over 6 years ago, probably over five for sure, right? And mind you, I read it front to back, boom, boom, boom. That was when I was really, you guys can see, scroll up. I was really serious about this shit. And that's when I was like manifesting and all that stuff. And now, you know, we chose something else and that never worked out, right? And it was always trying, okay, it was gonna work out, it was gonna work out. I might not say never, but it's just it didn't work out as much as this. I'm gonna read this and I'll continue what I was saying. Would you say as you evolve, your perceptions of this book also evolve? So there's always a deeper meaning when you touch back to it. Yeah. So literally, as I read it last night, that's what I'm saying. So here's something that's even interesting like, to come back and read it now is so I was beating myself up and choosing something even different, but to read it as a young not even Quartz, right? I didn't even have the name Quartz yet. This is just being honest, right? This was before I went out on the trail. This is the origin story, like, when they fucking have the prequel movies, this is that shit, right? Way before all that. And we had the belief, right? And now I have the experience. And that's something that I've been wanting to, I'm like, oh, I wish I had the belief again. And the belief wasn't in just in myself, it was actually in, hello, thanks for joining. We are reigniting our God self being. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Right? This is what they say. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. If you are serious about if you guys are with me, then we're doing this shit. Right? You feel me? Um but either way we're doing it whether you guys are with me or not. That's how serious about it I am. And that's how serious about it I was before when I was saying I wanted to do tarot and study this full time, and I got into it with my dad, and I told him, I said, if I can't do it here, I'll go somewhere where I can, and if that's in the middle of the woods, I'll do that. And they were like, yeah, I'm right, and I did that, and that's how I got the name Quartz. So, um, being out there, I didn't have anything except my crystals, and I met the Trail Angels, that's what they're called, and they put me on. They gave me, wool socks, some base layer, a backpack, a puffy. They and right, and they also gave me the name Quartz after Rose Quartz because I was chilling in my robe, just giving tarot readings, going on hikes, just being a part of the adventure, man. And yeah, just even you see, like that doesn't expire because that makes me happy those times. It's interesting to have so much less, and like I was saying yesterday, like all these things have negative energy on it because of just the feelings like it's supposed to feel good, but it doesn't. And then all these things is supposed to be right, but it's not, you know? And that's where we're restarting and we're making things right. And this is where it starts. And I feel we got away from that, realistically, like I was saying, because I before this was all we did, right? And then it was like, okay, all that comes with it, we're not prepared to deal with a lot. like we said, when you open one door, like all the energy comes through, good or bad. You have to be able to alchemize the negative energy, embrace the positive energy, and then expand upon that even further. And if you're not ready to do that, you get overwhelmed by all the energy. If you are going in with negative energy, there was already negative energy present for us to latch onto. That positive energy even then turns into negative energy because of our own perception, right? So now where it goes, all right, we're so used to manifesting and getting all this positive energy. We're now used to manifesting and getting all the negative energy. That's why Nine of Swords kept coming up. It's like Nine of Swords, yeah, because every time you open up the door for all this positivity to come through, right? All the negativity comes through. And that's where we have to just recognize it's all burgers and fries. 10-piece chicken nuggets and a couple of fries, you know me. So you know what's up. Chunky Boys all on that. I'm not sure if you guys know the Chunky Boys. All right. Shouts out to Robin Big, Big Black, and Bam Bam. I wonder if Bam Bam's still kicking. Shouts out to Bam Bam and Big Black. You know, Big Black recipes. You know. And I think what's interesting about it is that when this is the foundation, right? So we're destroying all the other stuff. And as I bring up Big Black, with things with the family and all that shit, um, it was like Big Black was like a big inspiration, Robin Big, because they weren't necessarily, um, yeah, you definitely gotta cop this shit. The Tablets of Light, um, yeah, cop that thing. The dogs got to it. But realistically, so funny. I found this book at the spiritual shop when I first got it, and I didn't have any money. I swear, I think I just spent whatever I was gonna spend at the spiritual shop, and I didn't have any money left. Right, Phoenix and Dragon. So, my friend Chelsea, she hits me up and she's like, "Yo, you want to go back there? I'll drive and boo boo boo." I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Um, and shouts out to friends. When you're older, friends, you don't have anyone to just pick you up to go to the store anymore. You know, you ever think about that? Once you hit 30s, niggas stop hitting you up to just go do errands. Niggas just do their errands, right? Niggas don't have people that would be like, you know, it's just something I just randomly remember, like such a younger thing of like, yo, you wanna go to Walmart? And niggas be like, yo, I remember high school niggas go to Walmart and you see it on Facebook, you see at Walmart and they tagging everybody, but you not tagged, you not there. You was hurt. You was hurt, gang. Now you'd be wanting to see nobody at Walmart. You'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm wearing the same clothes for like how many long?" And like, I'm just trying to get like, you know, um, it's so funny. So we gotta bring that back. We're bringing the youth back. So that's what the book is doing is revitalizing us. We're just gonna ride out to the store now. But either way, she's like, let's ride out. I swear to God, I didn't have any money because I spent it all, and I opened up my wallet because I had to give her like a ticket or a coupon, something. She wanted me to hold something in my wallet, and then when I opened it, it was a $20 in there, and it was like what? Like that wasn't in there before, and this book was $20 plus a little change. I found some stuff lying around. I had like some change or whatever. I got that together, was able to get this book. And that was like the last of my money. And I spent it on this. And I fasted for a couple days. I went through the Emerald tablets and then literally wrote it out because I don't know. I didn't look it up online. I just found it on YouTube and then I literally wrote out. I just stopped, listened to the recording and hand wrote it out. So it was like etched in my mind. And then we read this, and yeah, that was like, dude, we're on fucking fire right now. Um, so yeah, it just changed so much thinking about it. And now to have even the opportunity to go back and read this again from the perspective. Again, we're like the biggest achievement is being a father. Like out of anything that I've done, Leo is it. That's numero uno, right? Um, we got the dogs back. Uh Shit, we did a lot since we read this book. If you think about it. Um We did a hell of a lot since we read this book. So pretty much my whole Instagram is after reading the book because I kind of like took down the stuff before. I wasn't really doing anything before. I was doing what I'm doing now, if I think about it, promoting music and aye. So hopefully YouTube is doing well. Because this shit is crashing. Um, so we're gonna keep going for YouTube. Choose to recognize the vision you hold. This is not about, in this instant, going directly after the vision. It is quite the opposite. It is about choosing. It is about deciding to recognize the vision that you hold, the perspective that you carry, the wisdom of light that's within you, and to plant that seed. It is about lighting the match that sparks a remembering and to approach it delicately to spiral into it and allow it to ripple out like the water after a stone has been dropped into it. After you choosing to recognize the vision that you hold, that you carry, if you say out loud, I choose to recognize the vision that I hold, that I carry, state this 3 times out loud with increasing levels of resonance and commitment. I choose to recognize the vision that I hold, that I carry. I choose to recognize the vision that I hold, that I carry. I choose to recognize the vision that I hold, that I carry. Boom. Oracular vision as a doorway. Oracular vision involves the way that you hold awareness, energy, perspective, light, and consciousness to funnel in new ways of being. The oracle was sought after for his or her wisdom and knowledge of energy trends, of possible realities or outcomes. The vision that the oracle receives holds a possible reality. This is like opening a door that holds a pathway into another chamber or in a house. The oracular vision is such that there is the reading of a possible reality that then is expressed in a way that increases its probability. We are not speaking of telling the future, of reading a book that's already been decided upon, the book of someone's life, their destiny, and events. We are actually speaking about opening a road to a possible reality through a vision, through a line of sight, through a perspective as the light bearer, the way shower, the oracular vision holder, the carrier of infinite knowledge that you are. We are reminding you of much acquired skill that you have had from past incarnations, which is actually quite powerful and potent at this time. Holding a line of sight, a vision, increasing the probability of that certain reality coming into form, coming into fruition, coming into light. It is important at this stage to open up to receive the full dimension of what is being transmitted and to let go of any expectations of where you think this conversation is headed. It is important to likewise drop any recognition of where you think it is that we are going or what A plus B equals or leads to. Because this book of Toss Tablet is about creating through ancient and innovative wisdom, that which has not existed before. It is about recreation, the recreation of which is new. It is a choice. It is a malleable weaving of strands of light in such a way that depending on who you are, the way that you are, choosing or not choosing to interact with this material, the possibility of the reality you are here to remember and create is increased. It is formed. It is approached delicately because if you approach it as the person you had been, it is unapproachable. It is almost as if the person you had been is a magnet that is facing a possible reality that is also a magnet, right? When this happens, these magnets face each other in such a way that they repel each other. Approaching this magnet from the perspective of who you had been, including the visions you took on that aren't actually the visions that you hold, pushes the visions that you hold away. It pushes the possibility of something to be created that had never been created away. It creates this invisible force field in which that which you are actually choosing to access jump into another dimension. All right, so I highlighted this one. It's like a bunch of baby birds in the backyard. All right, so the what it's saying is if and this like even makes more sense as I come back to it of like, all right, so let's break this down. If I was doing, let's say, music and videos and all this stuff, and the reason I realistically stopped doing this all the time is because of the Nine of Swords. It was just like, oh my God, all this negative shit keeps happening. Um, I want to get away from this because it's a lot. It's a lot to be projected upon. It's a lot to go through all these different things. Um, Yet doing music or even streaming video games, even the land, you know, me just being on the land, all those different things don't necessarily change. Consciousness still feels the way that it does. And me shying away from being my full God self doesn't change anything. If anything, because yes, it's like literally Elden Ring, right? Yeah, the game's hard, right? But let's say if we stop playing the game, right? We stopped playing it, we were playing it every day, and now or even sports or whatever it is, the video game, let's say cooking, baking, sewing, riding a bike, skateboarding, all these things, right? Yeah, it's hard, but if I do it every day, then eventually I'll get better and I'll conquer this challenge, right? Yet if I stop doing it, I stop skateboarding, I stop playing the game, I stop doing the sport or cooking, whatever, then I'm actually only making things worse because the point was to keep trying, right? The point was to get better at this particular thing, right? And like as I even read this more, then the ideas come to me. It feels like when I gotta force these ideas. Um, I gotta find my outline somewhere of the script, but yeah, you you have to be your full God self. Otherwise, if you are your lower self, it can't, like I say this all the time, these frequencies can't exist together. You're going to repel them away. So now if you're supposed to be, let's say at, like I said, the 3-6 frequency, and you are attempting to do the 9 frequency, and the 9 frequency is attempting to do the 3-6 frequency, both timelines are going to get destroyed because one's outside of his comfort zone and the other one's outside of his comfort zone, right? It's like if you put a shark up a tree, right? Grand Risings, you put a shark, hey man, you know, be up this tree, and then like we're gonna take this gorilla and we're gonna put it in the ocean, and then you're like, oh, both of those died like literally like right away. They did not survive very long. It was kind of fucked up that we even did or thought to do such a thing, right? That's how the 9 frequency, the God frequency, and even an enlightened frequency, right? Because we're not even talking like the Matrix, right? We're talking just like the spiritual beings, right? I won't even do that, but just like people, even like the fact that, let's say, we can recognize that something is out there, right? Recognize crystals. Let's say you work at a crystal shop or something, right? And you're really good at it, and you know, we're really good at selling, you know, spiritual some vegan stuff, whatever it is, right? But the difference between the 9 frequency and this is what, we're saying in that frequency is if I first read this book, right? And I would have just stayed the hanged hippie in Atlanta and been really good at tarot reading, been the best tarot reader in the world, right? People fly all over to come see me, right? That's still the 3-6 frequency, right? The God frequency is when I left that and said, okay, guys, if I can be a God and manifest doing anything ever, right? I'm going to study and become even more of an ascended master than I already am. And I'm going to meditate and I'm going to attract everything really, 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 really easy. It's just even saying it out loud, just like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, you know? Like, just so much stuff like just races through, and like it's like this actual calmingness over like just like this, you know? And it's cool to even like do this on live because you can like literally like see like stress and this and then like it's what's like we're trying to figure it out, we're trying to figure it out, and then when you get here, you're like, because it's like you're right, you know, like Toth. I'm looking at Toth. I got the Toth statue over here. Um, I'm like, you're right, dude. And when you're right, you're right. And it's like I feel that um I feel that this tower was so necessary to destroy all the perceptions of what we thought we needed in our lives because um I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm actually grateful now. So thank you, Toth. Super, super grateful um for the tower because it's like um because we weren't like we couldn't receive the blessings. Now we can receive blessings. Where we're getting there because this is only dude, we're only halfway through chapter 1 again. Like we're halfway through chapter 1. Like we got a lot of book to read, you know? Um and just thought out loud, just me, I did these things. Like, bro, like it doesn't matter, you know? Like if you show up to the tablets, you actually show up to the tablets, then that's all that matters, you know? And showing up as your God self in every moment is what matters. When we like when we show up as our stressed self, right? Our stressed out self, then you are like I said, you're living in the future. You're pulling from the future. I'm stressed out right now. I'm trying to get all this done and like it's just like taking the L. Oh, I mean the biggest win, we got it, you know? Um I think we have such a good system now, like, that we aren't even, like, appreciating it, um, it's just really it's mind-blowing, you know? So, um, and again, we're just halfway through the first chapter, we're gonna keep going, um, but yeah. We are saying this not because there is anything wrong with who it is that you have been, is only to say who it is that you have been had created the world that you had existed in, and therefore it cannot create the world of this possibility that this vision holds open. We are wanting to stay on one stream of consciousness. Yet we could place a placeholder energetically here to recognize that this conversation is happening within a larger conversation that we haven't provided a context for. We are doing that on purpose because if we were to provide the larger conversational context, that then creates a limitation because it's held within a context. To provide a context, the more you can be without the context, the better. For this invites you to scramble old ways of thinking, old ways of being, old way of neural pathways. It invites you to recognize that what has gotten you to where you are will not get you to where it is that you are choosing to go through the pages of this book, through the days of your life, through this incarnation. It is through the forgetting that the remembering happens. It is through the awareness that spiring of who it is that you are, or that then allows you to walk down the line of sight of the vision that you're holding to the reality that it is yours to experience. We did that outtake of sorts when were beginning to speak about oracular visions, which is a light tool that you are remembering. For it's natural for you to want to categorize it to look like something else, to compare it to which you think may be similar to what it is that we are describing. In that process, what we are actually describing gets overlooked. We have said that the vision creates an open doorway in which a probability of a new reality through a line of sight gets created. The interesting aspect of the one holding the vision is that it is being held from the position of absolute knowing of the vision. The absolute knowing of the vision. This brings us into quicksand. For more we begin to play with this concept, the more we invite you to wrap your mind around it, the more stuck and further away from the concept we actually get. If we don't name what it's not and how not to be, then it's almost impossible to transmit that which it actually is. You gotta hold your no. You gotta recognize your no. Doors open. This is not deciding that you want to create a certain future and visualizing this future into being, and then that future increases the probability of actualizing it. That process is not what we're describing in oracular vision. It is not the process in which you take an energetic picture of somebody's life and what it is they're holding, and then create a conclusion about what their future will be, and sharing that vision as what their future will be. It is not reading the future, and again, it is not actualizing something that you would like by holding the vision of it. It is not receiving a vision from the spirit world in the form of a shamanic vision that is deciphered by your entering into an altered state and following a journey with your spirit guide and receiving certain images, sounds, or words, which then you hold and create. We are not talking about these forms of visionary here. It is not the shamanic vision. It is not future telling. It is not visualizing what you decide you want and then affirming it into manifestation. Rather, oracular vision is holding the vision of the reality that you know exists in the line of sight that you have on it that is unknown to anyone else. It is unknown to anyone else, and it is unknown to you until it is known by you. The explorer, the leader, the way shower, the pioneer, the light bearer is out there in front, finding a path that hasn't been traveled before and illuminating it into an open doorway that then creates a higher probability of reality that didn't exist. As the oracular vision holder, it is important to reactivate within you your capacity to see which has already been there, which you hadn't seen before. You haven't seen it before, you can't see it in advance. Let's circle back to an analogy about walking within chambers below the earth and finding a pathway there. At times, this can be like seeing through walls that seem to be solid but actually aren't. You are following a pathway that's already been laid out before. It is a process in which you are imagining it like a pathway you are walking on within a cavern underground. You don't know what's coming. You only know the step that you took before, and yet you don't even really know what has gone before. You know where it is that you are, where it is that you were, your oracular line of sight is seen from. Sometimes, as you're walking forward, you just know to walk forward. You just know to walk forward, and then all of a sudden, there's a crystal that sparkles out of the corner of your eye, is above the line of sight, and you're just drawn out to it like a magnet as you approach it, and as you reach out to touch this crystal, a secret passageway that wasn't obvious to anyone else gets opened up. Presence. What we are speaking about above is literally about finding a pathway. We are speaking about opening a door and holding a vision of that pathway, creating a reality so that it becomes more inevitable. And yet, we are also speaking about it as a way of being in your life that has absolutely been forgotten about 99.99% of the beings in this earth plane. Here, we are talking about presence, presence, presence. It is through the presence in the moment that you clearly see what to many appears to be invisible. If you have never been on a path before, you cannot anticipate that 300 steps along the path it drops down into a waterfall. You know only that it drops into a waterfall as you approach it and you begin to hear. If you didn't know what a waterfall was, you was a waterfall. As you approach it, you take in information about it that you couldn't take in if somebody was trying to describe to you what a waterfall is if you've never seen one before. By experiencing it, by putting your hand in the water or dropping a leaf, if you're at the top of the waterfall and watching it fall, you can see what you couldn't have seen any other way. You can experience what you haven't been able to experience from any other vantage point. That's why we're saying that once you hold the vision, once you know the vision of that which you are holding, then it opens a pathway for the reality you're holding to then become a probability. The vision that you hold is actually outside of time. It is organic. It is always moving. It is always moving because you're outside of time, and all that there is organic. It is alive. It is always moving. That's why it's not telling the future. That's why it's not illuminating what you want to actualize and visualize until it comes into fruition. That's why it's not receiving a shamanic vision and deciphering it. It is moment to moment, holding the vision, one increment of awareness and consciousness at a time. The door opens, the pathway is traversed from the moment that you know it and that you follow it, that you become the oracle that has oracular vision once again. We have transmitted much in this segment, and we would actually invite you to rest at this time. And when you are ready, go through it again, go through it again, and go through it again from the awareness that you have now at the end of this increment. Find the hidden treasures that have been seated within. Choose to hold the vision that you carry and to recognize the vision that you carry. It is all that you have left for yourself to find at this time, and it is a joyful experience to share it with one another. Cool, 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 cool. Boom. So yeah, we're gonna sit on that one. Whew, that slapped. Yeah. Here we go. We got a little Palo Santo. Smooth out the energy, and then we're gonna take a little break or two. I guess eat breakfast or something. Do laundry. Live. How are you doing? See, that's how you know big blessings, the vibes. Sending you good vibes, good energy. We are reigniting um our God self. And if you want to fall asleep, I even welcome that. That is the best compliment ever, right? Hold on.
Yeah, we still got YouTube though. Alright, you gotta shut up. Let's eat some food. And we get our day started.